Hello everybody, welcome back to Spill the Tea Lou. My name is Lou, nice to see you. I see Mama Flossie is in the house, thank you very much. We have over 300 subscribers, cannot believe it. We only hit 300 when I was live the day before yesterday, so 2 days ago, and we already have 314 people following the channel, subscribed. Thank you all very, very much. I see guests in the house. Ollie's at the wheel. Lads, I know I didn't do a live last night because I was busy picking my jaw up off the floor. The news coming in that it is very likely Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to come back to Manchetser United. Now, I'm hiding it really well, so you probably can't tell how I feel about that, but we're going to get stuck into it. I'm not going to keep everybody really late. Everybody has football this evening. We obviously kick off at 8:15. I know some people are a bit earlier than that. I see Jay is in the house. Big up Tyrell. Thank you so much for joining us. Lads, I am absolutely buzzed. Now, I'm going to start this, and I don't normally start the stream with this, but there are going to be some controversial takes in this. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. Let me just see. I feel like that's a wee bit high. I feel like I'm looking away on up, but just that's a wee bit better. I don't feel like I'm going to have to creak my neck to speak to you. Let me know if the sound is okay, because I keep moving the mic, and I don't know if I'm moving the wee yucky about. So just let me know if it's okay, if it's too loud, if it's okay. But yes, so some small ground rules, which I don't normally throw out there, but Manchetser United at the moment, there's all sorts of controversial things happening. There's all sorts of disagreements in the fan base. Thank you very much, Ash. Let me know it's all good. So just to throw it out there, this is a fan channel. I am a fan. I am going to express an opinion as a fan. If you have a different opinion, that is absolutely A-okay. You get your opinion in there. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me if you agree. Tell me why you disagree. That is absolutely fine. The one and only rule is you are not allowed to be nasty. So we can have a conversation, we can have a chat. This is not a debate to the death. I know a lot of YouTube channels out there, they give you their opinion and then they tell you, you have to think the same as me. If you don't think the same as me, you're an idiot, you're a Glazer sympathizer, you're not a real fan, I'm a better fan than you. None of that is true. I'm going to have an opinion, you're going to have an opinion, we're going to have a bit of a chat. Hello, Streets, nice to see you. So the main thing is we're just having a chat. It's just a chat. It's not a debate to the death. Nobody's stupid. Nobody's a bad fan. Everybody's opinion is valid, unless you don't want Solskjaer back, because then you're wrong. But no, on a serious, everybody we're just having a chat. It's chilled out, nice, happy chat. No meanness here. So what I would like to do is open the show by showing you my Twitter or my X timeline right now, because it is absolute mayhem. So let's see. First, right, straight off, right, let me refresh this. Now, I only logged in a few minutes ago. Let me refresh this. We'll see what's happening. I have no idea what's going to be here, people. So we are viewing this at the same time. So obviously there's KJ. Everybody's talking about KJ, or not everybody's talking about KJ. Everybody's talking about Kobbie Mainoo. So he's sharing a story about Kobbie Mainoo. People were wishing Hannah's lovely. Hannah's a really nice United fan, a lovely, lovely girl. But she's wishing Darren Fletcher the best of luck. And then we get to the good stuff. Can you feel it? Ollie, now, it's not official, so we don't want to go over the top. We don't want to get too excited too early, because it hasn't happened yet. There hasn't been a here we go, and Carrick is in the race. I don't dislike Carrick, but I love Ollie. And I was one of the absolute 0.01% of people who didn't want to sack Ollie at the time, regardless of the results. I'm going to get into why in a minute. I am going to make logical points as well. I'm going to do my best. But imagine, right? This is after a day of calming myself down. Imagine the excitement that I had yesterday. Imagine the poor people in the group chat with me when I found this news, and then more people said it, and then more people said it, and then people kept saying it, and then it was real. So we got to breathe. We have to remember to breathe. So Right. I'm going to come to the comments. Keep getting your comments in. I am going to come and read them. I'm seeing some of them, but I am going to come and read them. But I just want to see. Right. There we go. So, James Ducker from The Telegraph. The Solskjaer bounce was so great that he took over a team in 6th and finished the season in 6th. My memory is less of those 14 wins in his first 19 games in all comps, and more the deeply concerning results displays from mid-March onwards. Well, do you know what, James Negative Ducker? Do you know what word your phone puts when you're trying to put and then it puts duck? We need to put we need to substitute the D back out of your name, because honestly, Mr. Negative Pants, you just hold that to yourself. But we have Straddy Dave here coming in, and he is saying then he finished second behind the club who allegedly broke 115 rules. I see Johnny is in the house. Johnny, I am going to talk about that. I'm actually going to star your comment, because I was very disappointed actually with that. So I've starred your comment. I'm going to come back to it, so you hang on in there for me. Oh dear, Kevin Keegan has been diagnosed with cancer. That is very sad, but that is not the happy kind of news I'm looking for. So this guy's obviously just being a bit sad, and Nick Boyle is saying, so we just shouldn't give anybody a second chance. Good on you, Nick Boyle. Everybody's out there. But what you can see, oh, look, oh, that's very nice. That's Flossie. Ash, are you seeing this? Obviously very sad. Rest in peace. That's quite nice from Sunderland, because I know there's a massive rivalry there, and it goes to show you some things are bigger than football. Now, this here, the armchair fan, is my new best friend. So the new thing is Ollie won't win us the title. Nobody was talking about title challenges under Eric Ten Hag or Amorim. So the fact that you can even talk, you can mention a United oh, look, he just loves it. He loves it, and I love him, and we love him. It's just love. He's the man. I don't know how much of this I can show without getting myself barred off YouTube. Look, he just took one for the team. Yeah, this here. See, anybody talking about Besiktas has no idea what happened with that club, because genuinely the Besiktas fans were raging when he was let go. They wanted to keep him, and actually they're even more toxic than us. So honestly, the Besiktas fans wanted to keep him. They were doing like petitions and everything to keep him. They were raging with their club for letting him go. So what else have we got? Basically, the reason I was showing you this is because literally my entire, this is my other new best friend, Ollie is right, Esquire. Genuinely, and they're talking about James Ducker, James Miserable Ducker is right. He's in Cheshire. Sorry. Right. I'm going to get out of this. The reason I was showing you this was not just so I could sit here talking to myself, having the time of my life. It's because, and rival fans, I know it's mostly rival fans here, but I would just like to say, close your ear just for a wee minute. Manchetser United is the biggest club in the world. The biggest club in the world. Because I'm sorry to tell you, right? Liverpool, the worst, other than Leicester, obviously, but the worst at retaining the title team ever, were ready to sack their manager a few weeks ago themselves, slot in the mud. Everybody's having a crisis over there. They're all falling out, right? Then you have Chelsea, who mutually parted ways. I don't know why I'm doing that, because it was definitely mutual, who parted ways with their manager and then replaced him with a young, really unknown manager. And then what else? They're just having a mare. And then Strasbourg fans aren't happy with Chelsea owners. That's a whole mess over there. Arsenal might actually genuinely be going to win the league this year. And I mean that seriously, because I didn't believe it for a minute, but I'm actually starting to now. And City are having a wee bit of I don't know if it's a crisis. They're having a bit of a wobble over there as well. And they've signed Semenyo. And if you go to a Liverpool channel, they're talking about Liverpool. If you go to a Chelsea channel, they're talking about Chelsea. If you go to some other channels, they're talking about Arsenal. Not even, But if you go to all the channels, everybody is talking about Manchester United. Because even when we're terrible, we're unbelievable. So I'm going to start going through some of these comments, because I feel like I have been ranting in my happy joy phase for nearly 10 minutes now, and I haven't even said hello to you all properly. I don't know if I said it. Please smash a like. Please do smash a like, because I'm buzzed. I am buzzed. You can all have a little slice of my happiness, because I have loads of it. Now, right, I'm going to scroll all the way back up. Nobody run away, because I'm going to try and get to as many comments as possible. You know I love to get into the comments, because honestly, otherwise I would just run away with myself. So let me see. Everybody's saying hi. That's good. Ash is saying not to listen to me because I said Newcastle draw to Leeds. That's fair. That's fine. No, Mama Flossie, don't say that. People will take you seriously. Let me see. What did I? Oh, I did predict that. What can I see? Right, Jay is being a logical, rational human being. He's saying that he also loves Ollie, but that he feels Carrick would be better, that we need Carrick. And I've seen this, and I'm not arguing with you, I'm just having a conversation. And I think that's important. I can have an opinion, and you can have an opinion, and we can disagree, and we can have a conversation about it. And at the end of the conversation, we can still just have our different opinions. We don't need to debate it. We don't need to, at the end of the conversation, one of us has convinced the other one that they were wrong and to join the side. No, we can just talk about it and then still disagree at the end. So it wouldn't make much good if I just read your comment and didn't answer it. So we're just going to have a chat. But I'm not trying to convince you that I'm right, because I am happy enough for probably 1 million people. So if you're not delighted, that's perfectly fine. I'll carry that weight for you. But I have seen this about Carrick, and I see Jay has come back in and said, or both. And let's face it, they're a good combo. I would take both. I'm certainly not turning it down. I'd take Roy Keane as well. Good cop, bad cop. Let's go for it. Genuinely would love it. But Carrick, a lot of people said that Ollie didn't do actually a lot of his own coaching the first time round, and that it was actually his coaching staff that did a lot of the coaching. And if you brought Ollie back in without the coaching staff that helped him the first time round, he wouldn't be able to recreate the success that he had initially. And therefore, you'd actually be better getting one of those coaches straight up in McKenna or in Carrick. Obviously, Carrick has been spoken to, if you believe all of the media, the entire media, that Carrick has also been spoken to in terms of coming back alongside Ollie or coming back himself. So I understand what people are saying. However, Carrick himself came out and said that he is going to base his own coaching style as he develops himself, that he's going to base that on Ollie, which tells me that Carrick is telling us that Ollie was doing coaching, because how can you base your coaching style on someone who wasn't doing any coaching? So I think that's an unfair thing that's been leveled at him. And you know what it is? I think Ollie is very underestimated, and I think it comes from this nice guy persona that he seems to have. Now, he seems like a lovely man, but it's almost said as like a negative thing. He's too nice. And I think people then, then you had the PE teacher comment, and he's just too nice, and he's a bit naive, and he's a bit, people are a bit like patronizing. And when I say a bit, I mean absolutely very patronizing. The man is like old enough to be my dad. He's gotten through life. He's doing okay. He understands how the world works. Just because he's not a horrible human being, because he didn't let the world infest him and make him a horrible person, doesn't mean that he's not fit to do the job. And Jay, I'm going to take your comment down, because I'm not even answering your comment anymore, and I don't want it to feel like it's aimed at you. This is just a general thing that I've seen. And I think people make this mistake regularly, and they mistake somebody being nice for somebody being soft. You can have someone who's a really, really nice person, but if you cross them, they're not bloody soft. Some of the meanest people I know are nice people, because nice people are nice. And then if you push them to the point of where they have to be mean, they're extra mean. They make up for it with extra meanness. Nice does not mean soft. And people equate the two. If you're a nice person, it must mean you're soft. You can be run over. You can be manipulated. You can be taken advantage of. That is not correct. Nice and soft do not correlate. And people keep saying it, and it's wrong. It's factually incorrect. So now that I've got that off my chest, what else have we had to say? Dave Boy, shockingly, this is the biggest shock of the whole stream. Dave Boy is in the pub, and it's cold. It's very cold here as well. Let me see. Johnny, thank you for joining us. I'm coming back to your comment, the one that I started. So I wonder if the same people online that accused Manu of faking an injury will speak about Maguire now. And you know what? I'm going to, because I'm one of the people. So hands up, I criticise Manu. I don't want Manu back in the team. Now, I think if Ollie comes in, Manu is straight back in the team. I think he's going to be playing all the minutes, and I think a lot of people are going to be very happy. This is controversial, trigger warning. I do not want Manu anywhere near the team. I think we should just sell him. And I'm being deadly serious. And it's nothing to do with talent. I loved Garnacho. And when he started all that carry on, I slated him. When his brother started with the silly posts, I slated him. When he started liking all the stupid social media stuff and the little emojis, I slated him. When Rashford, lads, can you all still see me? Because I had a bit of a moment there on my computer. So if I disappear, let me know if I'm back. But I'm going to keep going unless you tell me otherwise. But I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I slated Garnacho. Rashford, literally born and bred, all the way through the system, was out drinking instead of training, slated him. His attitude stunk, slated him. Sancho, slated him. Kobbie Mainoo's brother was wearing a stupid t-shirt in the stadium. Kobbie Mainoo is out there liking stupid social media posts. Kobbie Mainoo's sister is posting selfies like, do you know what I mean? So I'm sorry, I'm not going to treat him any differently than anyone else. I slated 3 other players for exactly this kind of behaviour. I'm not going to let him away with it because I think he's talented. Sorry, no. Cop yourself on, grow up, or get lost with the rest of the bomb squad. Not interested. But I do think a lot of people will be very happy because I do think Ollie will definitely be playing him. What I will also say is I don't think the injury was real. I definitely don't think. I think he might have had a niggle. I definitely think he exaggerated it. What I will say is I am disappointed at what it looks like has happened with Harry Maguire. Now, we never knew when Harry Maguire was due back. So it's entirely possible, like Bruno, because Bruno was due to come back anyway. So it's entirely possible that Harry Maguire might have been back for this game anyway. And Harry Maguire was the first player that I saw that actually put a post on social media thanking Ruben Amorim for everything. So it's possible it's a coincidence. However, if it's the case that that was fake, and if it's the case that he was injured because it was Ruben Amorim, then I would have exactly the same energy as him as I would have for Manu. It's possible they're both a coincidence. It's possible the injury was real, and it's possible it's just smoke and mirrors, and sometimes things aren't as they appear. If it is how it appears, I think they're both wrong. So I'm with you, Johnny. Everybody should be treated the same, and if you're calling one out, you have to call everybody. Absolutely agree. Streets, yes. Ollie is supposed to be just an interim. If we might not get him back at all. We might not get him back at all. Lads, imagine the head loss that I am going to have if I've been this excited. This is me trying not to get too excited in case it doesn't happen, because it's not been official. It's not been here we go. It's not even really out there. So, yeah, no, and I understand, Johnny. Yeah, I completely understand. So Johnny saying that his comment was aimed at people like Luckhurst, who I have just blocked from my ex because he's just a pain in the bejesus. I was following him before and he put something stupid out yesterday and I just unfollowed. I was like, absolutely none of that nonsense. I completely understand it's not aimed at me personally, but because I was one of the people that was saying it, I do think it's good, you know, that I answer that and then I say, okay, this is what I think, because I'm sure you're not the only person who wonders that, and I'm certainly not the only person on YouTube that was you know, probably putting that out there. So I think it's important that we do answer that, because you're right, it's only fair. But I completely understand your comment wasn't like coming at me, and don't worry about it. But Streets, yes, he is supposedly the front runner to come in as a caretaker / interim manager until the summer, when we can replace him with a proper full-term, more experienced, more successful manager. That is the plan as it stands, based on everything I've been reading, and I've been reading everything I can find. So the other thing was, though, Ollie, the first time come in as an interim caretaker manager and was not supposed to stay, and then did. Ollie has also supposedly said, from the same people that said he is the front runner to come back, that if he comes back, he would love for it to become permanent. And let's face it, whether you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, our ownership, it's absolutely possible if he comes back and does well, where they're like, do you know what, let's just keep him. Let's just keep him. There's no point in, what's the point in having all this hassle of getting a new manager? We've got this guy and he's doing fine. So yes, as it stands, it's supposed to be for an interim role, if at all, because he might not get it. They might give it to Carrick. So if Fletcher wins the game tonight, they might just give it to Fletcher, being totally honest. Let's face it, they could do anything. But yes, at the moment, that's what the rumour mill says. So, but I am well carried away with myself. So I'm like, do you know that girl in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where she eats the blueberry and she becomes a blueberry and she floats to the ceiling? I'm like, I've read all of the OLE news, I've sucked it in like a dementor, and now I'm like, fly into the ceiling. I'm completely carried away with myself, but don't worry about that. We are going so deep into this because I am so excited. So excited. Are you not excited? You don't seem excited. Sorry, you don't seem excited. But we're going deep into this because it's the happiest I've been in ages. I did a video the other day saying that I don't care who the next manager is. It's not going to make any difference. It's not going to cheer me up. They're not going to do anything. And then I saw all the OLE rumours and I was like, I take it back. I'm delighted. Oh, honestly, I don't think none of you will have seen me, obviously, the first time around with OLE. There's nothing anybody could do or say to make me hate him. And I know there's an entirely logical set of fans out there that are like, the end of his reign was terrible. What are you talking about? And that's totally fine. I'm not going to argue with you at all. But I am not going to be rational. I'm letting you know now, there's absolutely nothing rational about this, and I make no apologies. Flossie is absolutely correct. Correct and right. I see Dave Boy is in the house. Let me see. Yes, Streets, there we have him. He's getting on board. He's getting into the spirit. Now, one thing I see, because I see people there talking about the players, and as I said, this isn't going to be a super long stream. I'm probably talking at like double speed. Now, imagine how fast I'm talking. Do you know the way you have the little toggle on YouTube? After the stream's over, if you want to laugh, come back and put this on time 2 speed. I'll be like one of them. Anyway, yes. I would just like to let everyone know I'm completely sober. I'm just very excited. But yes, it did also come out, apparently. I don't know how true this is. I've read that many rumours. I don't even know who started this one. But supposedly, Barada and Wilcox, primarily Wilcox, went and spoke to the players about who they would like the new manager to be. First of all, that is mental. Imagine going to a set of employees and saying, who would you like your new boss to be? It's like, I don't know if anybody, maybe you don't say this, but here in like Ireland, it's very common for your mom, when she's mad at you, to remind you that she put you into this world and she can take you right back out of it. So maybe, I don't know if that's common elsewhere, it's quite common here. But I think when you ask the players who they want the next manager to be, and if you then go and get that person, the players have it in their head. We put you in this position, we can take you out of it. One thing I'll say for Amorim was the best thing he did was smothered player power. He took a pillow and he smushed it on their faces and he smothered player power. He got rid of a load of the toxicity. We've more work to do, but he got rid of the main culprits of massive toxicity in our club. I will be forever grateful. Out of all the things he did, I will forever be grateful to Ruben Amorim that he snuffed that out, okay? The last thing we need to do is get the bzz, bzz, do you know when they put it on your chest to like revive you, and like mouth to mouth on player power. What are we doing? We've just got rid of it. Don't bring it back. What would you be doing? So, let's not revive player power. It's not up to the players who their new boss is going to be, because they're going to be their boss. And I just don't want them thinking, we got you in, we're going to take you out. Don't put that in their head. Don't give them that seed. I'm unimpressed with it. And I hope it's not real. It probably is, but I hope it's not. The other side of that is, OLE was very popular. So if they've asked the players have almost definitely picked OLE. So while I think it was a terrible idea, I do think I might get what I want out of it. I still think it's a terrible idea, but I mean, let me see. Yeah, no, it is, Ash. It is. I'm sorry. And I am. It's very sad. I'm just on such a high. But it is really very sad. Let me see. Oh yeah, Keenan Ollie would just be so much fun. Honestly, if nothing else, I would thoroughly enjoy myself, really enjoy myself, because honestly, and I think that's what I love about it so much. Ollie, out of all the managers we've had since Sir Alex, Ollie, I enjoyed being a United fan. I enjoyed like watching the games. I got excited. It was fast paced. It was attacking. We were scoring goals. We were on a winning streak. I just loved it. I enjoyed it. And I just think I'm okay. Like, bring it back. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, it is. It's absolutely crazy. I never thought it would really happen. I've been saying, guests can verify this. I have been saying the entire time, since even during the Eric Ten Hag, not even just Amorim, during Eric Ten Hag, I was like, I'd love Ollie to come back. I'd love to get Ollie back. I might have even said it on some of these streams that I would love Ollie to get the opportunity to work under this board, because people point to Ollie's results towards the end, that it became very toxic, that the players down tools and stopped playing for him, and that he was out of his depth and that he had to go. My thing is then, the problem wasn't his tactics. And I think Pep will vouch for Ollie's tactics. Let's face it, Pep. But the problem was player power. He didn't just stop knowing how to be tactically good. I mean, his tactics weren't good enough to get us on the Premier League record for away wins in a row, and then suddenly he forgot how to tactic. No, what happened was the players stopped playing for him. Most of those players, the really toxic ones, are gone out either on loan or permanently, but they're not here anymore. And we have a new board that I don't believe will allow what happened before. Like, Ollie is never, ever, ever going to be sent into a press conference to apologise to a player he criticised again. That's not going to happen. So I think what happened the first time wasn't that Ollie suddenly became really bad. I think the players threw him under a bus, which I don't think will happen under this new board. I'm touching all the wood. Also, I do think it's different. I don't think any of us are perfect, but I do think it's different. And I'm really interested to see how he would work under this, because I think the things that undone him before was the players down in tools and the board not listening to him. Because let's face it, his talent ID is impeccable. He had Haaland, he had Rice. There was another one he wanted to read, that's someone that's really good now. It'll come back to me later. So I think the board and the toxicity undid him at the time. And I think Amorim and the new board have gone some way to getting rid of that. So I actually do think it'll be so much better. Crazy, but good crazy. Let me see. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that's why he's never been offered the job, is because I think Sir Alex has always vetoed it. I completely agree. Streets is saying that he thought Amorim deserved time, but it is what it is. I did and I didn't. By the end, I was like, you know what? I don't think he's the guy, but I completely understand the people who wanted to just see it out for a little while. Just give him another transfer window. I disagree with it, but I understand it 100%. And yeah, good people can have a fair side. Absolutely 100%. Let me see. Harold is in the house, and I know Harold loves Ollie as much as I do. Welcome, Harold. Thank you. Well, I'm so glad you're at the party. Ollie will get top 3. Mark my words. For some people on SM don't like people social media. I was like, what is SM? So some people on social media don't like people that are perceived as nice. Yeah. People seem to think that because they've been jaded by the world, you also must be jaded by the world. And if you're in any way happy or positive, it's because you're deluded and mental and you don't know anything and you're just silly. Sorry, not real life. Everybody is shades. Let me see. Oh, that's good. I was never gone. My screen went black for a minute, but it came back very quickly, so that's good. Let me see. Yeah, Ash. See, there you go. Ash is saying, not going to lie, you can keep Manu. I hate it when players do this stuff. And Ash absolutely wanted Manu for Newcastle before. I hate it, and I don't care who the player is. I hate it. It's wrong. Nobody should be doing it. Nobody has an excuse for it. Nobody's good enough to do that. Nobody. Nobody at all. And I'm sorry, but I actually agree with Straits. I don't think Manu's that good anyway. I think he's decent. I think he's okay. I don't think he's spectacular. And he had some bum games under Eric Ten Hag. So even before this whole thing of free Manu, he had some dud games. Now, I know he did well for England, and that's maybe why a lot of people like him. But genuinely, I think he's decent. I would sell him tomorrow, no problem. Between his attitude and I don't think he's spectacular the way people are making out, I'd have him gone. Wouldn't think twice about it. Dave Boy is saying, I think Maguire is an honest pro. And I think the same. I think Maguire was genuine. I think the timing was a coincidence, but I have to be fair. If I'm saying that I definitely think Manu was either faking or not a coincidence, I have to be open to the possibility of Maguire. I don't believe it at all. I think Maguire was a genuine injury and it's just a coincidence. But I have to be open to the possibility, is all. Just to be fair to people who are saying, well, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let me see. Ash is saying, if any of them faked an injury, then they should be fined by the owners for how much they get paid. Totally agree. Put them in the naughty corner, fine them, whatever you have to do. Rob OLE IS United is in the house. He's running a wee bit late, but he's here. He's with us. He's in the gang. And Harold is agreeing. So a lot of us have the same sort of feeling. Most of us don't think that Maguire was faking. I don't think, and I genuinely don't think he was faking. Like I said, I just think I have to be open to it when I'm so vehemently saying that I think Manu did. But if you ask me, do I think he faked it? No. Let me see. What else have we got? I'm trying to get as much of what you're saying as possible in, because honestly, I'm just buzzed. I could just sit here like buzzing up and down on the chair with a happy face for like an hour. So I want to get your opinions in as well. It's important. These are all important. Let me see. Yeah, now, Dave Boy, bring me back down to earth with real talk. We have months now of hearing about elite managers they're after when really they want a yes man. Now, what I will say is, and I put it in the description of the video, and I said it when they sacked Amorim, this is the distraction. So I think they were always going to sack Amorim. I think the sacking of Amorim was planned. I think when it happened wasn't necessarily planned. I think their hand was forced. I actually think they hoped to take up the summer transfer window with all of this. But when Amorim made his comments in the press conference, he forced their hand, and they thought, okay, then we'll use it to take up the January transfer window instead. Because prior to Amorim being sacked, everybody was talking about, we need signings. We have to make signings in January. The protests are going to need to start backing up. We need midfielders. We need to reinforce. They must use the January transfer window. Now, nobody's talking about the January transfer window, not at United. Everyone's like, who are we getting in? Is it Carrick? Is it Ollie? Is it both? Is the likes of Rashford, is our players that are out on loan going to come back? I've probably already covered myself there, but I don't want them back. If they're gone for bad attitude, I think they need to stay gone. I don't want any of those players coming back. I don't want Onana back either. He didn't have a bad attitude, but he wasn't good enough. Anybody that's out on loan for bad attitude or not being good enough, I don't want them back. They need to stay gone. And I don't want, regardless of who the manager is, I don't want them coming back. Side note, I've also seen a lot of people saying because Rashford played well under Ollie will definitely want Rashford back. I think that's incorrect. Now, it's an opinion, but I think it's completely incorrect. Because Mr. Nice Guy, super nice Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's never mean to anyone, the only player he ever called out publicly was Marcus Rashford. So I think if he's going to bring a player back, it's not going to be him. And wasn't there comments, and I might be misattributing these comments, so somebody can tell me, but wasn't there comments that some of the players think they're better than they are? I think he might have been referring to a certain Marcus. So I wouldn't be taking him back. I don't want any part of him. The minute he went out drinking in another country instead of being at home training and playing, you're right. It's a 1-strike rule. You're out. The same as anybody else. Now, but yeah, so I think they're distracting us, and it's going to be months and months and months of who's coming in, who's not. They're going to take up the whole January transfer window with this. We're not getting anybody in January. We are not going to sign anyone in January. I would be astounded, because they're going to spend the whole of the window talking about this. And then in the summer, it's going to be like, oh, well, we're in talks. Who are we going to bring in? And then we have to do interviews. And if they're doing all this with the manager, they're not signing any players. So I just think this is completely on purpose. And I do think they want someone who's going to say yes, yes, yes. But as I said, I don't think Ollie's going to quite do that. I don't think Ollie is going to be as erratic as Amorim. I don't think Ollie's going to come into a press conference and be like, sack me, just call in their bluff. Well, if you don't like it, sack me. I mean, 3 times, twice near the start, and then obviously most recently, he basically said that, well, I'll quit or you can sack me. So, I mean, Ollie's not going to do that, which I think is a good thing, because we need some stability. But yeah, look, they want someone who says yes or no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. I think it's a misapprehension that Ollie will do that. I think he will challenge them, but in a different way. He's not going to be aggressively challenging them. But sometimes you don't have to be aggressive. Sometimes if you go about things in a more understated way, you actually make more progress. So let me see. Now, we are, oh my God, it's 20-8, lads. It's 20-8. It's nearly match time. The lineups are probably out. I'm going to whack through a load of these comments. I'm going to stick the lineup up, and I'll pull Newcastle's up as well, because I know Ash and Flossie are here. You've probably already seen it, but I'm going to pull them up anyway, because we're the 8:15 games. And we'll have a quick look, and then I'll let everybody go and get their pre-match snacks and drinks and everything else. I'm having sushi tonight. Right, so distraction. Let's go. People always say that the Ronaldo signing messed up Ollie, but you think the Europa final loss messed it up. I have to say, I agree with the people about Ronaldo. He never wanted Ronaldo. He didn't want Ronaldo. And what happened with Ronaldo, well, I love him and I didn't want him to go to City. He disrupted what was being built. Something was being built, and then he completely disrupted it. But I understand what you're saying about the Europa final, getting in the head, and it can mess with you a wee bit. So I understand. And maybe most likely it was multiple contributing factors. So the 2 things might be relevant, plus a few other things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzed. And just, it's a natural high. I haven't taken anything. Let me see. What else? Everybody's saying hi. I see our guests. Streets is saying, from what I was saying about Amorim changing the culture, rooting out the toxicity, and in the long term, the culture was starting to change, and that's why you thought we would go with him long term. I actually thought he was doing better behind the scenes than he was doing on the pitch. On the pitch, I didn't like it. His tactics, his formation, his substitutions. I didn't like his on-the-pitch management. Actually, though, his coaching, his behind the scenes, his management behind the scenes, his reset, I did. I actually much preferred what he was doing behind the scenes than what he was doing on the pitch, which is unusual, but it's a pity obviously you can't kind of demote him, but it's a pity we couldn't have kept him in another capacity, because I do think he was adding value, and I do think he was doing correct things that were improving us. I just don't think they were on the pitch. I think they eventually will affect what's on the pitch, but you know what I mean? Let me see. Did I see Johnny? Johnny is on fire tonight. I'm so glad Johnny is here. And we haven't seen you in the chat before, Johnny. So I'm so glad that you're here, because it's a good one for you to be in, because you're on fire with some of these comments. Did you see the stuff about Wilcox saying he loves to get involved in the coaching stuff and giving ideas to manager? It was a horrible read. Now, when I spoke about Chelsea the other day, way back then, when Chelsea was a big deal, before Manchester United decided to say, hold my beer, I said that had been rumours, and obviously we don't know, but there's rumours that kind of the board are going into the dressing room and speaking to the Chelsea players while Maresca was there and essentially micromanaging him. And I said I thought that was completely wrong. They need to do their job. I more or less said what Amorim said, that the people need to concentrate on their own job instead of trying to do other people's jobs. And so I have the same energy in terms of Wilcox. You're not the coach, you're not the manager. And if you're getting involved and overstepping the mark and micromanaging the manager, you are undermining him to the players and you're not focusing on your own job and you're kind of inhibiting his ability to do his job. How can I say Amorim wasn't doing good enough, Amorim was making the wrong decisions, when we don't know if Amorim was making all the wrong decisions? Because maybe some of the decisions that I thought were terrible were made by Wilcox. I don't know now. I think in his role, Wilcox will always have an input. I think he will have an opinion. I think we need to be really careful, though, where the line is. Is he coming in micromanaging? Is he coming in undermining Amorim or whoever comes in after him? Is he going in getting over involved, which is what it sounded like from the quote, overstepping the mark and doing too much? That's what I have a problem with. I have no problem with him having input because that's his job. His job is to oversee. His job is to have an opinion. My problem is if he's micromanaging. When you hire someone to do a job, you have to trust them to do the job. If you then assess them and feel they're not doing the job correctly, do what they've done. Get rid of them and replace them with somebody you feel can do the job properly. But you can't micromanage, because if you're micromanaging, you cannot then assess the person on the role they're doing because they're not doing the role. You are. So I think they sound bad. It doesn't sound good. Let me see. Everybody's saying hi. Yeah, and that's it, straight. Ronaldo signing caused issues. It should have signed a dynamic DM, and that's it. We panicked. We panicked when we thought City. Jay is saying Wilcox is going to mess it up. I don't think he's a popular man at the moment. I'm not a fan. Let me see. Flossie is reminding everybody to please hit the like button. Please do that. Let me see what else. I don't want to miss anybody. Guess is saying Ollie isn't nice. He's just Norwegian. Guess is not from Norway. She's from Sweden, but similar region, similar sort of cultures, and probably has a better understanding of that area of the world than us. Let me see. Streets is saying Gallagher is miles ahead of Manu for top 6 Premier League swap debt. That's a controversial one at the minute as well. It seems to be some channels are just like, oh no, some channels are just feeling a wee bit miserable at the minute. Harold is saying Lindelof, Maguire, Rojo, Young McFred, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Pereira, James, Rashford. Ollie's team that drew away to Liverpool, Champions League winning Klopp team. Put some respect on Ollie's name. Round of applause for Harold. Harold with the win. Yes, correct. Well said. Let me see. What else? Streets is saying Manu's best option is Serie A to revive his career. Yeah, let him go. Send him off to Napoli with I'll tell you what. I would swap Manu for Scott. I don't think Napoli would. I would take Scott back and give them Manu. Absolutely no problems. I wouldn't even blink. I don't think Napoli would do that swap, which tells you something. Flossie is saying a player just needs a couple of good games and they're hailed as world class, and these young ones actually believe the hype. Bang on the money. Flossie nailed it. Absolutely. The amount of hype, it's crazy. Like, it's a yo-yo, it's a roller coaster. Everyone's amazing or terrible. Nobody's just decent. Nobody's just really good. Nobody's doing well. They're unbelievable, the best thing since sliced bread, or they're absolutely terrible, dreadful, wouldn't want them to play for your team ever. There's just no middle ground anymore. Everybody's so dramatic. Also, world class is bandied about. These phrases are used too much. They're buzzwords. They lose meaning. It's the same as the word agenda. It's the same as a number of other things. They lose meaning because they're overused. World class is like out of this world. It's like the top of the world. If everybody's world class, Nobody's at the top. It's like everybody can't be in first place. There's only one first place. You can't do it. So yeah, and then the problem is the players feed into their own hype. Completely agree. And they're surrounded by, we were talking about yes men, they're surrounded by yes men. People telling them, oh yeah, oh you are that good. Oh, you're going to be the next big thing. You are the next big thing already. Unbelievable. Completely agree. Guess is saying there's Viking blood there. Don't be fooled. Let me see. What else are we saying? Johnny is saying he doesn't think any of the players were faking. With the Cobby one, it looked like he was going to play when Bruno got injured, so it would be a really stupid move to fake an injury when you're about to get playing. And I agree. It would be very silly, but sometimes when you're young and when you're stubborn and when somebody's annoyed you, you don't make logical decisions. Now, maybe it was completely genuine. I'm just from my own experience. When I was Cobby's age, if somebody had crossed me and annoyed me, I wasn't necessarily going to make the correct, logical, right decision, even if it benefited me. I'm petty. Even now, in my 30s, I am petty. I will cut my nose off to spite my face 100%. And sometimes people are like that. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying even though it was silly, it doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't. But I can't judge everybody by my standards. So let me see. Harold is saying that he loves Rashford, and that's okay, because we can agree on some things and we can disagree on other things, and we can still be friends, and that's no problem at all. Let me see. Jay is saying Ollie in, but Wilcox will mess that up too. Streets is saying his dream. He's telling us about his dreams, people, so listen up. The dream for Streets is Ollie is interim till the summer, Miguel's been appointed, but Ollie stays as assistant. A bit unrealistic. To be honest, the least realistic part of that is Miguel's been, because I still think Ollie would stay as an assistant. I think he would stay in any capacity, no problem at all. Rob agrees with me. I don't know what we agree on. Probably everything. Let's go with everything, but we agree. Streets would love Gallagher in January, but it seems to be off now. Yeah, there was rumours and talk, and then it died. And I think they've done it on purpose. I think they've absolutely just distracted us. And I'm allowing it to happen because I'm so excited. I know they're doing it. I can see it happening, but I'm on the train, I'm on the bus, I'm in the clouds, I'm all over the place. Johnny is saying, the amount of hype I've seen from fans online about Rashford at Barca is crazy too, considering I think he has like 2 league goals while starting most games. I'll be honest, I haven't watched him. I haven't, so I cannot give an opinion because I'd be lying. I haven't watched him. I haven't looked at it. I've just pushed it to the side. So I don't know. I'm trusting everybody else on that one. Streets is saying Ollie is perfect for the current situation, which he is, because it's not too dissimilar to the original situation that he came in, and look how well that went. Dave Boy bringing the mood down. We were all buzzing, and Dave Boy is just come in and wrecked it. Let's be honest, who's the ultimate yes man? Who Sir Jim likes? Sir Gareth Southgate. Well, boo to that idea. In the bit, I better keep Ollie. Yes, come on United. And Flossie is saying up the mighty Mags. So Streets is saying 2-0 for tonight. Streets is saying Ollie did want Ronaldo, but it was a naive decision. In his own interviews, he has intimated that he didn't. So I don't know about that. But I mean, I literally don't know. And Rob is saying, come on United. Jay's saying 3-1 United. Everybody's talking about it. Sancho and Ronaldo are alike. Snatched from City, not a good move apparently. Well, yeah, let's face it. Let's not take anybody else to City once, because it doesn't go well for us. Let me see. What else are we doing? There we are. Rob is saying, Ollie should never have been sacked. He understands United and took us to the UCL twice. Ollie understands United, and that's what we need right now, because some of our players don't, so we need a manager who can show them. Let me see. What else are we doing? Streets, we've got Streets on board. He wasn't sure at the start of the stream, and we've convinced him. Thinking about it now, Rob is spot on. Ollie could have been a long-term manager if we stayed patient. Boom, we've got him. Let me see. Right. Okay, Bruno's back. Right, let's get up the lineups. That's what everyone's saying. So let me get up the lineups, and then we're all going to go and get ourselves ready for the football. So I am looking for a sofa score. Let's get them up. Dun, 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 dun. We're looking at Manchetser United and Burnley. But you know what I'll do? I'll show you the scores first. So let's share this tab and let's share it with you. So you should be able to see that. So far, off the matches that have already kicked off, we are 23 minutes into most of them. Bournemouth and Tottenham are 1-1. Brentford, Sunderland are 0-0. I thought that game was going to have goals. Palace Villa is 0-0. Everton, boo! Everton are beating Wolves. I had Wolves to win that one. Fulham, Chelsea 0-0. City, Brighton 0-0. So nothing too dramatic. But let's go to the lineups. Let's click the button, push the button. Why is it not showing me the lineups? Have I pushed the wrong button? Aha, I pushed the wrong button. That's why, because I am a dope. So this is Burnley's lineup. I'm not going to lie. Like, obviously Hannibal was at United. I know Broha, and there's Kyle Walker, and obviously we know Dubravka. That's it. And I'm not being disrespectful. I just don't know a lot about other teams. We are a back four. People, it's a back four. Thank you. So, Lawman's in goal. Dallo, Heaven, Martinez, Shaw, pretty decent other than Dallo. Ugarte and Casemiro. Ugarte did well in his last match, and he does play decent alongside Casemiro. Dorgu on the right. Cunha on the left. Bruno Fernandes. And Sesko up front. Lads, honestly, look at this lineup, right? Now, and I don't mean the personnel, I mean look at where they are on the pitch. How beautiful does that look? Genuinely beautiful. Very pleased, absolutely delighted, super duper happy. Yeah, we've got it. We've got this. Sesko needs to get his striking boots on. Imagine, I never even said that. Imagine Ollie with Sesko. Sesko was probably, before the match, saying his prayers, being like, please bring Ollie to the club. Please bring Ollie to the club. If anybody can get Sesko firing, it's Ollie. Now, let's go. Leeds, Newcastle, Leeds, lineups. So, Newcastle are Nick Pope, Lewis Miley, Chaw, I can't say that poor man's name, Shar, Lewis Hall, Gamaraj, Tonali, Joe Linton, Barnes, Voltamessi, Gordon. That looks pretty strong to me. I don't know. Is that strong? Flossie, Ash, somebody tell me. That looks pretty strong. I know this isn't Lewis Miley's position, but honestly, he's been so good, you wouldn't know. If I didn't know what was in his position, I wouldn't know. But that looks pretty solid. So, yous are obviously playing Leeds. Leeds' lineup. Perry in goal, Rodon, Bijal, Strick, Goodmanson, Stock, Ampadu, Greve, Justin, Aronson, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin hasn't started all the matches. He started against us, but he hasn't started all the matches, and he hasn't scored in two because I've been keeping an eyeball on him. Aronson gave us a bit of hassle. Overall, though, I reckon surely Newcastle can get the measure of them. Surely. Now, right, let me go back in. Let me remove this. Flossie is saying she likes it. That's good. Chelsea got a red card. Did Chelsea actually get a red card? Oh my God. Right, hold on till I share this again. This is mental. Jay, thank you. Thank you very much. Because honestly, I can't. If we've any Chelsea fans, because I know we do have some Chelsea fans that join us, I'm really sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. That's dreadful. That's really bad. Honestly. And he's on a good spell there. He hadn't had one for a wee while. Professional last man foul. I'm going to have to go and watch the highlights. If anybody saw it, he's obviously didn't because you're here with me. I'm going to have to go and see, was it an actual red card? But I mean, last man foul is one of those that's not really down to the referees. You know the way sometimes it's quite subjective. It's not last man foul is last man foul. If you fouled him and he's the last man, it has to be a red card. So it's less subjective. Streets, honestly. WWEFC back at it again. Ole, ole. Oh, Jay, thanks so much for letting us know, because I would have got off and just seen that. Yes, and Johnny is in with a good point as well. Marco Silva with a yellow card as well. The managers love a bit of a row. So, lads, on that note, on that very funny, hysterical note, I think we're going to win. I think Ollie's going to be back at the wheel. I think we're going to be in the Champions League spots. And I think Pep is going to be having cold sweats about Ollie coming back to the Premier League. Please smash a like on the video. Everybody go and enjoy the football tonight. I will speak to you all very, very soon. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And smash a like if you haven't done so already, people.